Step into the heart of Africa at Daylight Africa Week 2023 in the Gambia. Join us for the groundbreaking Transatlantic Family Reunification Forum, where we embrace our shared heritage and stories of strength. Explore the captivating history of Banjul, Bakau, Kunta Kinte Island, Sanyang, Tendaba, and more, where our roots run deep. Celebrates Africa's unity and progress as the African Union turns 21. Witness the Odana Laye Award ceremony, honoring trailblazers who shape our destiny. Network and connect. Join our social and economic networking events. Together, we'll pave the way for a brighter future. Daylight Africa Week 2023 in the Gambia. An unforgettable journey awaits you from September 2nd to 10th. Reserve your spot now at www.daylightafrica.org. Terms and conditions apply. Events are subject to change. Daylight Africa Week 2023. Unite with us in the heart of Africa. Be a part of history in the making.
Welcome to Talking Politics. I am Robert Press, your host, and I am a reporter for the Bronx Chronicle. Here is my official press card that I always show at the beginning of every show. I also write for the Co-op City News, Parkchester Times, as well as host the show, which is produced by Muslim Media, which will be conducting that tour of Daylighting Africa. So I hope that my friends here at Muslim Media, my producer, the owner of Muslim Media, have a great time there, and I'll welcome them back. Unfortunately, I have to stay here and talk about politics. So let's get into the weather. Today is going to be a beautiful day in the upper 70s. We're going to have a beautiful weekend. Saturday will be in the low 80s. Sunday in the upper 80s. Labor Day, it might even reach 90 degrees, the weather people say. And the rest of the week should be beautiful too. Now, first, before we start with the politics, well, actually it is politics, I want to wish New York City Mayor Eric Adams a happy birthday. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to say it's number 39 because nobody really knows except some of his friends how old he is. And Mayor Adams just finished a briefing on the new school year, which you can check my blog at www.100%.blogspot.com. That's www.100%.blogspot.com for the gist of what the mayor has said once the press release comes out. Also, right now going on is a press conference by Van Cortlandt Park. It appears that our illustrious borough president, Vanessa Gibson, is giving her support to the proposed 34,000 cricket seat stadium that will be a temporary stadium built in Van Cortlandt Park. And the local assemblyman and his son, the Dinowitz, I should say, and Congressman Richie Torres, among other local leaders, are now, putting on a press conference about why they oppose this cricket stadium. As we have seen in the past, most of these proposals, such as alternate side street parking, which was a proposal, it's going to be a pilot plan, that became permanent. Parking meters many years ago, we're just going to see if we can, what's going to happen. We want to try and move spots around, and that became permanent. So this stadium, if it's built, I don't see how it's going to be taken down. And they have a crumbling stadium in Van Cortlandt Park anyway, right at the foot of the train station. So why not fix that train station up where there's a track? Fix the stadium up where there's a track and build it over there instead of in the middle of the fields. Okay, now on to politics. Hurricane Idella. It tore right into Florida at the speed of a fast-moving train Wednesday, splitting trees in half, ripping roofs off hotels, turning small cars into boats before sweeping through Georgia and South Carolina, and is still a powerful storm that flooded roadways and sent residents to higher ground. It was a Category 3 storm that hit landfill near Keaton Beach at 7:45 a.m. Wednesday morning. The winds were about 125 miles an hour. And the system remains a hurricane as it continues to go out to sea. Now, there is a possibility that this hurricane could turn back inland and wind up somewhere up in Massachusetts. So, but along the South Carolina coast, Myrtle Beach, Garden City, and Eddystone Island all reported ocean water flowing over. There was a surge of about 9 to 12 feet. State officials, including 5,500 National Guardsmen and rescue crews, were in search and recovery mode, inspecting bridges, clearing toppled trees, and looking for anyone in distress. Because, though, of the remoteness of this Big Bend area where the hurricane hit, search teams may need more time to complete their work compared with past hurricanes in most urban areas. Otherwise, in past, the hurricanes came in on the east side of Florida rather than the west side of Florida, like this one, which hit right near Tampa Bay. Well, too bad the Yankees weren't playing Tampa Bay. In Tampa Bay at the time, the game would have been canceled and the Yankees wouldn't have lost the game. As it is, and I'm digressing a little into sports here, our failed New York Yankees are in last place, and it looks like they may not get out of last place, considering that what's going on here with the Yankees, and even the Mets now are in last place. So New York has 2 last place teams. Yes, I'm looking at the little note down at the bottom about the CB11 demographics released by the borough president's office. And I'm going to stop here for a moment and talk about that. It appears that the demographics of the Bronx has changed. The Bronx was once probably more than 50% white. It is now 9% white. And it appears that Borough President Gibson, who told me last year she wants the community boards to reflect the neighborhoods, is probably going to try and make Community Board 11 9% white like the rest of the Bronx. But the Community Board 11 area has a white population of about 30%. So we will see what happens. I am going to investigate the matter. And in future shows, I'll have more on Community Board 11, their ethnic makeup. And as a matter of fact, all community boards will be starting to go back to meetings. Next week, hybrid meetings or online is to be found. And you could find it at your community board website. Just go to Google and type in your community board or your address to find out which community board you live in. And then go to their website and find out when the meetings are. Now, unfortunately, Community Board 11 has a policy of in their meetings, which is normal in the general full board meeting, that the public speaks only during a gallery session at the beginning of a meeting. But Community Board 11 has a gallery session for all their meetings, including, let's say, the Parks Committee, the Economic Development Committee, where they hear liquor licenses. So, you know, if they have a gallery session, they want to talk about the liquor license, vote on it, then the public can talk about it. Well, that changed when I came into Board 11 because I said, no, you're not going to have me talk about something you already voted on. So that was changed in the Economic Development Committee meeting. But let me get back to politics. Senator Mitch McConnell, the House leader, the longtime Republican leader, who has apparently increased, diminishing, and frail, and become frail after a serious head injury last year, froze up for a second time during a news conference Wednesday. This is the second such episode he has experienced on camera in recent weeks. The latest episode, which took place at the Republican leader's home state of Kentucky, intensified questions about his future in the Senate. McConnell, who is 81 years old, was talking to reporters after an event hosted by the Northern Kentucky Chamber of Commerce, where he was asked his thoughts on running for re-election in 2026. He began to answer the question with a slight chuckle and abruptly stopped for about 30 seconds. Something like this. After 30 seconds, he was standing motionally, gripped his podium, and then his mouth pursed and his eyes fixed. An aide approached him to ask if he heard the question. He mentioned yes, but he seemed unable to continue speaking or to move. It was the second such incident in 2 months, and the scene intensifies questions about McConnell's health conditions, his ability to serve in the future. Now, 2 neurologists who viewed the video of the news conference at the time said it could be a mini stroke or a partial seizure, but McConnell's office declined to share any details about his health, including whether he consulted a physician after the incident. His doctor has said, though, that the senator is cleared to continue to continue doing his work in the Senate. Now we're on to the immigrant crisis. Mayor Eric Adams has slammed Kathy Hochul on her handling of the migrant crisis. Mayor Adams on Tuesday ramped up his criticism of Governor Kathy Hochul's handling of the local migrant influx, saying she is blatantly wrong for not forcing other areas in the state to take asylum seekers, leaving the Big Apple to handle the crisis on its own. She's the governor of the state, he says. New York City is in that state. Every county in the state should be a part of this. Hochul put the blame on President Biden, who she met with some of his advisors on Wednesday. But Adams continued to slam her in a statement, saying her address that she was abdicating for her duty as a governor to create a statewide response. New York City is caring for now nearly 60,000 immigrants, according to figures from City Hall last week, with thousands arriving each week, forcing city officials to scramble for emergency housing. This is a real leadership moment, the mayor said Tuesday morning. It's a humanitarian crisis of national proportion. In separate letters, though, Hochul and Adams, Homeland Security advisor Alejandro Mayorkas, only provided vague recommendations from the federal government. Adams shot back, insisting the administration address his pleas. Now, what's happened is Mayor Adams has said that this could cost the city $12 billion. Now, he needs money coming from the state and the federal government. As far as who's taking what and where these people are coming from, it appears that Venezuela, Ecuador, and Colombia are the top countries of origin for New York asylum seekers. As of July 30th, people from Venezuela make up the highest proportion. It says 41% of asylum seekers who have arrived in New York City since the spring of 2022. The migrants from Ecuador and Colombia make up 18 and 13%, respectively, and other countries in this order from Peru, 5%, from Africa, Senegal at 2%, Mauritania, 4%, 3% of the asylum seekers are said to come from Russia, 2% from Nicaragua, and 1% from Honduras and Turkey. Since last spring, more than 107,000 people from all over the world have come through the city's intake system as of August 27th. About 60,000 migrants remain in the city's care, according to the Deputy Mayor of Health and Human Services, Ann Wilson-Ism. The breakdown of asylum seekers who remain in city care roughly falls about the same percentage, according to City Hall. More than 30 counties around the state have taken steps to block New York City from sending migrants to their areas. Now, counties who have closed their doors on New York City, and I'm just going to read the counties. I'm not going to read the explanation. Some have had court orders. Erie County, Rockland County, Orange County, Oneida County, Broome County, Charlotte County, Rensselaer County, Chemung County, Tioga County, Niagara County, and there's about 30 of them now. Only 3 counties have opened their doors a little bit. Westchester County has opened in New York City, isn't the only sanctuary city in the state. Cities including Albany and Ithaca have sanctuary policies on the books, and Westchester County Executive George Latimer said that this week he is open to taking some asylum seekers. If we can manage some numbers with proper services and controls in place, we too can help. Albany County, the county executive, Dan McCoy, declared a state of emergency over the asylum crisis, but directed county Department of Social Services to coordinate with the state on a plan to take up to 200 families. Hotels and other businesses are still required to get permission from the county, arranging to house asylum seekers, and more than 100 asylum seekers have been sent to Albany County from New York City. And the last one is Monroe County, which the executive Adam Bello issued an order that requires hotels or other businesses to get county approval before entering into contracts to house asylum seekers. This emergency order does not prevent migrants from coming to Monroe County while they await resolution of their legal asylum application, he said. Rather, it ensures that if migrants need to be housed in that county, it is done so in a thoughtful way with a reasonable plan in place to protect everybody involved. Now, I'm going to go to a commercial here in a moment because what's happening with the care of the migrants, DocGo is being investigated, which is the there's a $450 million no-bid contract that was given to DocGo to take care of the migrants out of New York City. And that is being investigated by Attorney General Letitia James to see, because there are complaints that the immigrants are not getting the care that they should have. And she is investigating it. Now, I'm going to go to a commercial right now. And when I come back, I'm going to be talking about Mayor Adams and Rikers Island. And will it be closed by 2027 or not? So let's go to a commercial.
Experience the rhythm of Africa come alive at Daylight Africa Week 2023 in Senegal. Join us for the groundbreaking Transatlantic Family Reunification Forum, where hearts unite and stories of resilience span continents. Journey through the rich culture of Dakar, Gorée Island, and St. Louis, where the echoes of the past shape our future. Lights, camera, action. Be captivated by the film screening and cinema forum, a celebration of African American women in cinema in collaboration with Daylight Africa. Network with visionaries and trailblazers during our social and economic networking events. Together, we'll build bridges to a brighter future. Daylight Africa Week 2023 in Senegal. An unforgettable journey awaits you from September 2nd to 10th. Reserve your spot now at www.daylightafrica.org. Terms and conditions. Step into the heart of Africa at Daylight Africa Week 2023 in the Gambia. Join us for the groundbreaking Transatlantic Family Reunification Forum, where we embrace our shared heritage and stories of strength. Explore the captivating history of Banjul, Bakau, Kunta Kinte Island, Sanyang, Tendaba, and more, where our roots run deep. Celebrates Africa's unity and progress as the African Union turns 21. Witness the Odana Laye Award ceremony, honoring trailblazers who shape our destiny. Network and connect. Join our social and economic networking events. Together, we'll pave the way for a brighter future. Daylight Africa Week 2023 in the Gambia. An unforgettable journey awaits you from September 2nd to 10th. Reserve your spot now at www.daylightafrica.org. Terms and conditions apply. Events are subject to change. Daylight Africa Week 2023. Unite with us in the heart of Africa. Be a part of history in the making.
Welcome back. As I said, let's talk about Rikers Island right now, because it appears that this plan that started under Mayor Bill de Blasio, Mayor Adams has said that the plan to close Rikers has been flawed from the beginning. The mayor cited ballooning costs and more incarcerated people as the reasons the complex may not be able to close at the 2027 deadline. Mayor Eric Adams hasn't hesitated to cast doubt about the city's ability to close Rikers Island by 2027, as the city is legally mandated to. At a fireside chat at the New York Law School Tuesday morning, Adams suggested the city council needs to revisit the plan it approved in 2019 to close the troubled jail complex and replace it with 4 borough-based jails in the next 4 years, in part because of Rikers' growing population and smaller capacity of the borough jails. The borough jails will have a capacity of 3,900 detainees, and currently there are now over 6,000 detainees in Rikers Island, a far greater amount than what the borough jails are intended to hold. We must sit down with the city council, lay out the facts, and here's what it's going to cost. Here's how we can do it. You're our partners. Let's resolve the issue, Adams added, mentioning that the council has the authority to re-examine and come up with some new ways to resolve this. While the city council could pass new legislation to extend the 2027 deadline, there doesn't seem to be much interest from the body in doing so. Rikers must close by 2027. We cannot allow it to continue undermining public safety issues across our city, Speaker Adams said back in March. Later, in the afternoon, during an unrelated press conference, Mayor Adams was asked about his earlier comments on Rikers Island and reiterated that he wants the council to revisit the plan. Still, he said he's not going to break the law. I think we all as leaders need to come back and say, how do we deal with this issue? How that we are faced with in a few years, Mayor Adams said, and based on my partners, I'm going to have to go with whatever the outcome is. I'm not going to get my way on everything. Now, Brooklyn Borough President Antonio Reynoso has come out and saying, well, Mayor Adams, you're just arresting more people. That's why there's more people in Rikers Island. Well, it appears crime is up, that we have people who are ransacking, I'm using the word ransacking, some of the stores, stealing merchandise at will. And there's nothing that's being done because the police are powerless to arrest these people. And if they try and arrest the people or do arrest the people, they're out within 12 hours or sooner. So it's a hard problem that the city has right now. But Mayor Adams has a new solution on how to reach him. He announced yesterday, Text with Eric, a new initiative that will facilitate a two-way communication directly with New Yorkers via text messages about updates from the administration and services the administration has unlocked for New Yorkers. People who sign up to receive the SMS communications directly from the Adams administration with information about new initiatives and policies, local events, and more will be able to respond themselves to share their thoughts with the city. These messages will be facilitated through community and SMS engagement platform, which is also used by President Joe Biden, former President Barack Obama, and many other notable figures, companies, and organizations. Mayor Adams says, hit me up, New York. I'm at 917-909-2288. That's 917-909-2288, said Mayor Adams. We want to hear from you about how the city is doing. We want to let you know about all the great things that is happening across the 5 boroughs. This is the most accessible administration in history. We're excited to be in touch with you in many ways. However, I will say to Mayor Adams right now that he is hiding from the media. Mayor Bill de Blasio came to the media. He was open. He took questions. It appears that Mayor Adams is hiding from the media. Mayor de Blasio was at all of the police every month when they had the police stats reporting on crime. And Mayor Adams, I said to him many times, well, murder is up here in this precinct in the Bronx. Robberies are up in this precinct in the Bronx. Stolen cars are up here in this precinct in the Bronx. And those precincts received extra police officers. But again, that's when we had more police officers. Now, one thing you have to check if you sign up for this is to see if your carrier will charge you for text messages. I know with Verizon, when I had the plan that I had with Verizon, I used to be charged 10 cents a text message, whether I took it or not. So check with your carrier to see if you'll be charged for text messages if you sign up for this. Now, do speed cameras work? That is a question. Speeding dropped an average of 30% prior to building on, let's start that over. Speeding dropped an average of 30% on prior successive speed camera programs. Sharp declines in injuries recorded on corridors across the street. The New York City Department of Transportation Commissioner Ydanis Rodriguez today announced that speeding injuries and traffic fatalities declined in areas with speed cameras during the first year of the 24/7 enforcement. Speed cameras violations dropped an average of 30%, with most dramatic drops occurring on Houston Street in the East Village, where speeding declined by 96%. In addition to reduction in speeding, injuries also declined along the corridors in the city. Now, Like I said, it said 96% in Houston Street in Manhattan, 84% on Cropsey Street in Brooklyn, 74% North Conduit Boulevard in Brooklyn and Queens, 79% on Seagirt Boulevard in Far Rockaway, 83% on Union Turnpike in Queens, 68% on Bruckner Boulevard in the Bronx. But we have construction going on Bruckner Boulevard, which slows down the traffic anyway. That was as of June 30th, 2023. Following the 24 operation, New York DOT also recorded steep declines in traffic injuries during overnight and weekend hours at camera locations across the city, including a 45% drop in injury reduction on Tremont Avenue in the Bronx, 33% on Kings Highway in Brooklyn, 19% on Highland Boulevard in Staten Island, 16% on Queens Boulevard in Queens, 18% on Amsterdam Avenue in Manhattan. That is as of July 2023. So it appears that speed cameras are working. A key city council committee approved a 5-year renewal of Madison Square Garden special operating permit. It's 5 years short of what the city recommended, and many, many years short of what owner of the MSG Garden, James Dolan, who has pushed for. He wanted to have perpetuity, that he doesn't have to pay any taxes, but it appears that they're trying to get Mr. Dolan to go along with the revived Penn Station plan, and it appears that they're going to have to do a little horse trading in that, and maybe up it a little more the next time around if he does cooperate with the city on this and helps with the new Penn Station. Finally, I'm going to go into something that involves Bronxlandia in the South Bronx and Community Board 2, it appears. South Bronx Board blocks booze at Bronxlandia event space. The Bronxlandia is located at 910 Hunts Point Avenue, and they're going to have to wait a little longer before customers start popping bottles after the state yanked the Hunts Point Performance Venue liquor license last month. Majora Carter, a longtime community environmental justice advocate, once honored with a MacArthur Foundation Genius Grant for her work, said, "The setback is part of an ongoing campaign by Bronx Community Board 2 to thwart her attempts to get a New York State Liquor Authority license approved. I feel like we've done everything we needed to do." The Hunts Point Carter told the city newspaper at the Boogie Down Grand Cafe, which she owns and operated for 6 years. The cafe is 2 blocks away from Bronxlandia on Hunts Point Avenue, but they're making it seem like just because we don't show up and follow their process, that somehow we're wrong. Carter, with her husband and business partner, James Chase, bought the historic Hunts Point Railroad Station from Amtrak for $1 in 2016 after renovations opened Bronxlandia in late 2021. The sprawling cultural space has since hosted a TEDx event, private birthday parties, professional development conferences, flea markets, music performances, and even pro wrestling matches, which I find hard because you need a big space for pro wrestling matches. But I mean, we've had them in the local high school. St. Francis Xavier, which is closing, had wrestling. But Carter set out in March 2022 to get a license to serve liquor, but quickly ran afoul of the local community board. At a meeting with CB2 at the following month, the board members told Chase they would only support a license for the establishment if they installed an airport-style walk-through metal detector, gave the New York NYPD 41st Precinct access to its security camera feeds, stationed security personnel at entrances, gave notice 30 days before any event, and shut down at midnight. Under standard state liquor authority rules, businesses that have a license to serve alcohol can stay open until 4 a.m. As a matter of fact, their hours can be on weekdays 8 a.m. to 4 a.m., and on Sundays 10 a.m. to 4 a.m. Christmas is normal days. Now, later that month, CB2 sent a letter to the authority supposedly stating that the board reserves the right to request that the New York State Liquor Authority revoke the license if the stipulations are not followed. A third-generation native of the Bronx, Carter is no stranger to Hunts Point, where she founded an environmental nonprofit called Sustainable South Bronx and helped launch the Point CDC, an arts and cultural and development hub at Hunts Point. Now, Carter said that CB Community Board 2 Chair Robert Crespo also demanded that she attend board meetings regarding the license. Previously, Chase had attended on behalf of Bronxlandia when Carter was out of town. Crespo did indeed demand my presence and declared that they would not continue with our application until I personally appeared before the subcommittee. Carter wrote in March 2023 to the New York State Liquor Authority in a letter. Now, it appears that the city tried to contact Board Chair Crespo, but he could not be reached for comment. It appears that, and I sat on Community Board 8, by the way, and I was on the Public Safety Committee, and we heard liquor licenses. And this is going back, I was off the board in 2016. But we were told that we could not put individual stipulations for bars or restaurants. If we had a stipulation, and we had one, which was we wanted new establishments to close at 2 a.m. Their first year. But that was for every bar. Now it appears that community boards can ask for stipulations for whatever they want. I know that Community Board 10 occasionally asks bars or restaurants, if they're serving liquor, to darken their windows so people can't see in, and other things. But this is the first time that I hear of this type of stipulation. And I don't blame the owner for not going to the community board meetings. It appears that Community Board 2 must have a problem with their bars and restaurants that serve alcohol. And it doesn't seem right to me that they put all these stipulations on one bar and not all bars. And I'm going to close the show right here now, saying that a community board is only really supposed to be advisory on liquor licenses. We had one applicant on Community Board 8 who came to us and said, we're not going to close at 2 a.m. the first year. Screw the community board. And the New York State Liquor Authority granted their license. Unfortunately, things are a little different in Community Board 2, we see. So with that, I'm going to say thank you for watching. I hope Community Board 2 in Bronxlandia straighten this thing out. She seems like a wonderful person, a community activist, and I don't see why she's having all of these problems. So thank you for watching, and take care.
Step into the heart of Africa at Daylight Africa Week 2023 in the Gambia. Join us for the groundbreaking Transatlantic Family Reunification Forum, where we embrace our shared heritage and stories of strength. Explore the captivating history of Banjul, Bakau, Kunta Kinte Island, Sanyang, Tendaba, and more, where our roots run deep. Celebrates Africa's unity and progress as the African Union turns 21. Witness the Odana Laye Award ceremony, honoring trailblazers who shape our destiny. Network and connect. Join our social and economic networking events. Together, we'll pave the way for a brighter future. Daylight Africa Week 2023 in the Gambia. An unforgettable journey awaits you from September 2nd to 10th. Reserve your spot now at www.daylightafrica.org. Terms and conditions apply. Events are subject to change. Daylight Africa Week 2023. Unite with us. Experience the rhythm of Africa come alive at Daylight Africa Week 2023 in Senegal. Join us for the groundbreaking Transatlantic Family Reunification Forum, where hearts unite and stories of resilience span continents. Journey through the rich culture of Dakar, Gorée Island, and St. Louis, where the echoes of the past shape our future. Lights, camera, action. Be captivated by the film screening and cinema forum, a celebration of African American women in cinema in collaboration with Daylight Africa. Network with visionaries and trailblazers during our social and economic networking events. Together, we'll build bridges to a brighter future. Daylight Africa Week 2023 in Senegal. An unforgettable journey awaits you from September 2nd to 10th. Reserve your spot now at www.daylightafrica.org. Terms and conditions apply. Events